eyewitness photos, crystal clear photos of these orbs also now being published. Do those look like drones to you?
Rainbows are actually circles as seen from higher vantage point. Entertainment purposes, I don't know, but something's definitely afoot. It kind of reminds me of Earthworm Jim in a way.
Members of the King's Guard notice that whoever is inside the massive armor no longer eats any food, drinks any water or wine, nor does he go to the bathroom.
You guys see it? Who would wear something like this? Hey, let's go. Lock in and buckle up, bucko. It's your boy Jetski Chuck. We're diving back into some creepy and scary TikToks. Let's go.
Eyewitness photos, crystal clear photos of these orbs also now being published. Do those look like drones to you?
No, they look like embryos.
Yeah, they look like some sort of embryo or some sort of massive, I don't know, circular orb with some sort of field around them.
This guy's using a Sony camera and he captures the highest quality footage of these orbs that are in the sky. Check this out.
Yeah. What is that?
Have eyewitness photos, crystal clear photos of these orbs also now being published. Do those look like drones to you?
No, they look like embryos.
Yeah, they look like some sort of embryo or some sort of massive, I don't know, circular orb with some sort of field around them, hovering. And this is what we're seeing now. So, again, also other eyewitnesses seeing these sort of like wheel within a wheel. Like something like right out of the Bible. Look at these. This is over New Jersey. Does that look like some sort of any kind of a drone that you've ever seen before? Looks like biblical drawings, like a wheel within a wheel, like Ezekiel, right? I mean, you have drawings like this going back thousands of years, by the way. Some of these from the 1600s right here. These sort of wheel within a wheel on the sky. What are these things?
So this guy's using a Sony camera and he captures...
I just want to see one myself in real life, you know, because everyone's seen them but me is what I'm feeling like right now. Damn, that was interesting. There's some stuff through at us. Hold on. Let's go back and read exactly what was being said. These plasmoids and orbs are getting out of hand. What is going on? I believe it was a portal in one portion of the video. How do plasmoids form? They said they're extraterrestrial, these plasmoids, basically. Interdimensional portal. So are the plasmoids coming from the interdimensional portal is what I'm getting. And it's in New Jersey. The orbs are most likely plasmoids. With recent AI drone technology, we're able to identify them. In an ongoing game of cosmic hide and seek, scientists have a new tool that may give them an edge. Physicists in the U.S. Department of Energy's DOE Princeton Plasma Physics Laboratory have developed a computer program incorporating machine learning that could help identify blobs of plasma in outer space known as plasmoids. Wow, so we've may be looking at a new form of non-biological intelligent life native to this planet. Those orbs are most likely plasmoids, sentient representing the fourth domain of life. Drop your thoughts below. What is going on?
The experts tell us this is the remains of an ice flow in southern Washington. So now ice flows in addition to volcanoes. Are you really going to keep going along with this silliness? Maybe it was easy for us to go along with it at first. I mean, how can the ants hope to know that they're building their colony on top of a massive tree stump? It's hard to get a good perspective when we're way down there as to just how massive the world around you is. Like our friends the ants, how are we to know? The globalist parasites that run this world want us to be kept as nothing more than good little worker drones. They want us working blissfully and obediently in their little ant farm. The lies we have been taught, the lies we have been told, that serve as that invisible wall in our illusion of freedom we have in this realm. Why lie to us? Because a prisoner that doesn't see their cage has no clue they're in prison. Ancient volcanoes, basalt, hexagonal spewing volcanoes, and all the other silly excuses. I know what you have been told. We have all got the same government-funded propaganda, education. Current events, history, geology, biology, religion. All nothing more than a set of lies agreed upon. The truth is out there. You just have to question everything, friends. Until next. The experts tell us this is the remains of an ice flow.
Question everything. You guys know how much I love the trees. It's been a minute since we did a deep dive on the trees, and we got one coming soon, guys. You better bet your bottom dollar, bucko. We got a tree banger coming soon. I'm dedicating the whole video to straight trees we never seen, mesas, in-depth analysis. It's coming. That had to be AI. That would be all over the news.
What in the ever-living fuck is that? Oh my god, that's so scary. What is that? I'm not even tripping. Oh, that's so scary. Oh my god. Like, I'm not tripping, right? What is that? That's in our sky right now. I think this is it. I think this is them aliens. What in the ever-living
Guys, what is this? At first it looked like a dead spider or something up there floating. But it's definitely spiraling, whatever it is up there a little bit, but it's just like in float mode. This is a crazy one. It looks like it's emitting some type of frequency off of it too, if you look at it carefully. What is that?
If you're going to start anywhere with temple mysteries, you have to start with India. India has the craziest architecture you will ever see. Half the stuff in the temples spin. If they don't... If you're going to start anywhere with temple mysteries, you have to start with India. India has If you're going to start anywhere with temple mysteries, you have to start with India. India has the craziest architecture you will ever see. Half the stuff in the temples spin if they don't float. The pillars in these temples look exactly like a sound wave in 3D. That one's iron. It hasn't rusted in 2,300 years. They carved them into mountains and then out of mountains. You can't make a mistake. You have one shot at it. When they're done carving, they put the finest details head to toe in the entire temple. It's everywhere. You cannot get all the details even if you tried. Look at this. That's a mandala made out of a snake tail. It's all one tail. That elephant is not an elephant. It's made out of people. That stone is made out of one solid rock. It moves. It's a chain now. They put a rock ball of one stone inside a carving of a different type of stone. It's one piece. How'd they get the rock ball in there? They built pyramids like Egypt and Mexico, and then they inverted it into the ground. Then when they got bored of that, they inverted one of their own temples and built that into the ground. Some of the features inside the temple look like modern technology today.
Not saying it's aliens. Rainbows are actually circles as seen from higher vantage point. Interesting, kind of like a sundog. Wow. I always thought they were like half, you could see half of it, but I guess if you go high, it's a circle looking down. Did you guys know that?
If you got time, watch this.
Also, let's talk about this whole alien thing. Now, with all of the information that's been coming out over the last, 15, 20 years pretty much, most of you, if you truly are chosen, have felt it in your heart, and you have absorbed some of that information into your heart, into your soul, because the Almighty has allowed you to understand that there is a lot of truth there, okay? Now, you have to remember, there's a lot of guys on TikTok out here who are telling you right now that those who are coming are not actually aliens. Well, I've been saying that for years also. Here's what they are. They're the spirits of the Nephilim, the displaced spirits of the Nephilim, the giants, the titans, right? The demigods of the pre-flood era. That's who these demons are. Now, if they indeed have found a way to live in these little alien flesh suits, or they're possessing people, or whatever the case may freaking be, it doesn't matter, because we serve the Most High. And if we're going to spend all of our time just being concerned over every light that we see in the sky, when the Almighty tells us himself that they're going to be throwing sky signs and wonders in the skies, then we're going to be missing the point. Yes, we're supposed to be paying attention. Yes, we're supposed to be aware of the situation so that we don't get caught off guard. But being too aware can also mislead you. You understand? Focus on the Most High. Focus on the will of the Master, of Yeshua. What does he want you to do today? I'm supposed to get up, honor him, say my prayers, study, soak his word into my core.
If you got time, watch this.
I'm doing some research. Why would anybody care? Now, I've been doing some research. And we've always been fascinated with knights our entire lives. But we never questioned their suits of armor at all until now. What I stumbled across was basically lining up with the fact that reptilians have been working alongside of elites for a very, very long time. And when I cap this video off, you're going to see exactly what I see. Now, I did some searching and I came across this here. Now, read this. Look how it says, knights never went out of their castle without their armor. Knight servants had to pour water inside their suits. That was apparently due to it being impossible for knights to go to the bathroom. So you're going to tell me they were pouring water in their suits to clean out their suits? It also says that they always stay hidden in their castles. they had to eat through their armor. Some of them slept in armor. Why would you do that? Unless you're like a reptile and you don't want anybody to see your face, or you're an entity who doesn't want to be noticed. Then I stumbled across this. And you see how you got the knight's armor, you see the shield in the back, and then you see the person's body, and then you kind of see this worm thing coming out. What the is that? And basically, what I'm trying to say is, what we think were knights, were they really reptilian entities?
It kind of reminds me of Earthworm Jim in a way. You guys remember that game, Earthworm Jim? Every time I see that photo, Earthworm Jim is screaming my name.
Inside the armor, more like this. Because the armor doesn't make any sense, and their behavior doesn't make any sense. They can't take their armor off. Their servants can't see them without their armor. You need to pour water inside of it. Why would you need to do that? But I do know if you do have a reptile or a pet or something like that, what do they tell you to put in the tank? They tell you they put some water in there, don't they? Now we're just going to look at the armor. I always just thought the armor was odd only because it looks like there's metal strips that would obstruct your vision, would it not? I look here at this armor, and I made sure not to find AI or anything else. You see how this is in a museum, meaning this is official. They went and they found. Look at the armor. Look at the slit on this guy's. I'm sorry, but if I'm fighting you, would you want to fight with that on? Would you want to go to battle with that on? Could you go to battle? Could you even see out of that? Think about that for a second. You can't see. There's a slit right here for your eyes to come out all the way out here. How are you even seeing? If I do a swipe or something, you can't see it come up. How are you blocking that? It's not adding up.
Hold on. Let's get 2 sheets of paper. Let me see if I can see through it. This is a small slit. I guess maybe. You could see a little bit, guys. I'm not gonna lie. You could see just enough. All right? You could see. All right? I'm not gonna lie. Is it the best? No. But when you got just 7 millimeters of vision, you can see, surprisingly. So a human could put that on and see. Will you see the best? No. Can you see out your peripherals? No, but you can definitely see in front of you. If someone struck you, you can look in their direction and see who struck you. But yeah, you can see, surprisingly.
Just take a really close look. Look at the slit in that eye. Like, if somebody ducks down, you can't see them. Let's be honest, it's not really logical.
I'm not defending the armor and humans in it. I'm just saying that you can look down. Like this part, they should have something interwoven in there to where your neck, you could look down. Are you going to see the best again? No, but it is possible to wear knight's armor and see.
Take a look at this one. Take a look at that. you can't see it. You can't see
That one's tougher, guys. That
what is
one's
going
tough.
on here.
I don't know about that one.
This is official knight's armor. This is in a museum. What is going on here? It looks like a torture device. But you're telling me a human being is chilling in there, and they can see and fight? This is supposedly the knight's armor of Maximilian II. Look at the feet. Look at the helmet. They didn't put it on backwards. No. It's on the right way. It's like it's not even a 1/4 inch wide, the slit. You can barely see the slit in the helmet.
I don't know.
How are you fighting in that? How are you walking in that? And for those of you who think I'm a skeptic, then what is this? And what is this depiction here? Let me show you something else, because they always show you through the looking glass. Do we remember him from the Game of Thrones? This thing that we saw in the show and nobody questioned or asked any questions about, it was just this creepy entity that was just following her around, doing her bidding. And it don't look anywhere near human. Watch this. Just stabs Money right in the chest. He don't even move. Lift him up with one hand and just snap his neck like he ain't nothing. So you have that scene when dude just stabs him in the chest. He don't even move. He don't even budge like it's nothing, right? And then listen to this scene, how they describing dude.
Introduces the newest member of the King's Guard. He doesn't refer to him as the Mountain anymore either. He now goes by the name of Sir Robert the Strong. The other members of the King's Guard notice that whoever is inside the massive armor no longer eats any food, drinks any water or wine, nor does he go to the bathroom. They also can't see inside of the helmet. In the very last chapter of the last book, things begin to get even more ominous about the character. Mace Tyrell says, "Where did this man come from? Why have we never heard this name before? He does not speak, he will not show his face, and he is never seen without his armor. Do we even know for a certainty that he is even a knight? We do not even know if the man is alive."
We do not know if the man is even alive. I'm starting to think there's a lot of truth to this. Because if this isn't true, and this isn't true, is somebody going to explain to me how these motherfuckers see? Don't none of this make no sense.
There doesn't even look like, on the right one, there's like a little slit, but over here, it's like, what type of technology will possess a man with eyeballs to see? Because there's nothing for him to see right there. You know, like, what are you going to do? Put it in battle mode and then you can't see anything and you're swinging blind? You know, it doesn't make sense, to be honest. Something's afoot here, guys.
Make it make sense. Unless we're going to convince ourselves that this, and this is good, great headgear for visual combat in battle and asks absolutely no questions. The same way everybody watched this entire show, saw this reptilian monster, and asked no questions. But when the eyes are blind, the mind can't see.
When the eyes are blind, the mind is useless. Shout out to 150 and Piper Miller 31 for this. This is interesting. Take me to the submersible. Check out this, guys. I had a couple armors I've been saving in my back pocket. I've been meaning to put them on the website, and I might do so. But check these out. Oh, I just seen it. There it is. There's a couple of them. Check out this armor, though. How crazy is this armor? Like, who wore this? You guys see it? Who would wear something like this? You know? Like this armor, just like those coins. You know, the armor tells a tale too. So it makes you think, who would wear this armor? I got a couple more. Let me show you another one. There isn't too much information on these armor pieces. Here's another one. Look at this. This looks like the same. This looks like it's by the same designer, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. But who made this armor? You know, we need to do a dive into this. Those are the only two pieces I got, but you can bet your bottom dollar, bucko, that they got more armor out there. Let's see what we can pull up.
When you think you've seen it all, you ain't seen nothing yet. There is a chapel in Florence, and it may just show what was hiding in certain knights' armor. Did you know that certain knights was never seen without their armor? They would even sleep in it, and you would never hear them speak. And when it came to the females, they would have no direct contact. They would get the female to put teardrops into a handkerchief and have it given to them indirectly. What kind of freaky thing is this? They would also get their fellow soldiers to pour water into their armor all throughout the day. What kind of reptilian thing is this? Now let's be realistic. What kind of human could wear this night and day? It's not even practical. How could he even see, let alone fight? To wear this helmet, your eyes would need to be in your forehead. Who remembers Earthworm Jim? I think they was trying to tell us something. And I think they was trying to tell us something in Game of Thrones, because that guy was no longer human. I mean, just look. To wear this armor, your eyes need to be lower than your nose, your arms need to be lanky, and you need to have crow's foot. Sometimes we just can't spell it all out, but you got to read the signs. When you think you've seen it all, you ain't seen nothing yet.
But honestly though, who's wearing this armor? You can't see. It looks cool, but you can't see. Drop in the comments below. Who's wearing that?
Your eyes would need.
Who's wearing this one? Drop in the comments below. And like they said, you just pour a little water in that. Whatever they're putting in this, how do they see? This is definitely weird.
Need to be in your forehead. Who remembers Earthworm Jim?
My favorite game of all time, Earthworm Jim.
I think they was trying to tell us something. Jim, there's something that...
And what in the world is this? It looks like it's literally inside some type of flesh. Does it not? You can't say that's like a spinal cord because it's damn near got a face on it. Eyes, mouth, nose. Entertainment purposes, I don't know. But something's definitely afoot.
Oh, I've got your ass. I've got your worm ass now. Throughout our realm, there are many different beings masquerading as humans, and I'll be exposing each and every one of them. But first, let's finish off these knights wearing armor as exoskeletons. So like I said, they was never seen without their armor. They used to eat and even sleep in it. And if one of their servants would ever touch them, the punishment would be death on the spot. And to kill one of these knights, it is said even if you cut off its head, it would carry on fighting. The only way to kill it would be a stab wound to the lower back. Just look at this armor. No human could possibly wear this. How could you see? And as for the genitals, you ain't got none, bruv. But nowadays, there's no need to dress up as a knight when you can dress up as a human with one of these silicone bodysuits. I guess Kanye West was trying to tell us something, that they live among us, but they're just hiding in plain sight.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Unless they're using that for a heavy hat, there's no way you're seeing around this. And this is extremely suspect, guys. All right, this says, want to see a rare armored worm? Want to see a rare armored worm. Mechachorian, 400 million years old. Let me write that down. Macaridian. All right, they're not talking too much about these worms. So I did find that word Macaridian. Let's type it in. All right, it says the Mechairida is an extinct group of armored, segmented annelid worms known as the early Arodovican. I'm sorry, guys, but this is what they're saying it is. Could this be some type of offspring from reptiles? I don't know. Reptilians? I don't know.
It's made out of crocodile skin. This is field armor that was designed for a child to wear and was owned by a noble family. This is crocodile armor from 200 AD that was found in northern Egypt, and yes, it is made out of crocodile skin. This is field armor that was designed for a child to wear and was owned by a noble family back in the 1600s. I don't think they used it, but I hope they didn't have to. This is a 9,000-year-old mask that was found in the Judean desert of Israel, and it's known as the world's oldest mask. It's actually made out of stone and was likely used for magic ceremonies. Pretty crazy. Follow for more. This is crocodile armor from 200 AD that was
How would they see from this armor? Unless that was some type of mesh behind it. But it still would be tough to see. But how cool does that look?
Museum of Archaeology and Ethnology. Tlingit body armor made with Chinese cash coin. Tlingit body armor made with Chinese cash coins. On display at the Peabody Museum of Archaeology and Ethnology. The Tlingits, an indigenous people from Alaska, British Columbia, and the Yukon used body armor made from Chinese cash coins. These coins were introduced by Russian traders from Qing China between the 17th and 18th centuries who traded them for animal skins, which were in turn traded with the Chinese for tea, silk, and porcelain by these European traders. The Tlingits believed that these cash coins would protect them from knife attacks and guns used by other indigenous American tribes and Russians. Tlingit body armor made with Chinese
Hey, they was trying. Not a bad idea.
Do you know how powerful the armor used by European kings 500 years ago was? This armor was strong enough to rival the power of modern bulletproof vests. Even a regular person wearing this gear would be nearly unstoppable on the battlefield. The entire suit was made from thick iron plates, providing complete body protection. The most vulnerable area, the head, was shielded with 360-degree coverage, leaving no weak spots except for tiny slits around the eyes. Other than that, there were no gaps in the armor. To enhance mobility, the joints of the armor were designed with intricate overlapping scales, allowing the arms and torso to move smoothly and effortlessly. The iron boots were crafted with a unique interlocking structure, allowing them to bend in all directions, not just up and down, but side to side as well. Imagine stepping onto the battlefield wearing these boots. You'd have a huge advantage over your enemies. Museum records show that this suit of armor once belonged to King Louis III of Europe. Made from iron, brass, silk, and leather, the full set weighed in at an impressive 44 pounds. Even a regular person wearing this armor would be a force to be reckoned with, let alone a skilled warrior. With this kind of armor, taking down hundreds or even thousands wouldn't be impossible. Do you know how powerful the armor used by European?
War masks are undoubtedly cool, and they're an interesting piece of equipment because they can be found in a ton of different cultures across all periods. Some Stone Age societies made use of them in Africa, Asia, the Pacific, and the Americas. One of my favorites being this Tlingit example. The Hellenistic Greeks made use of the Phrygian helmet, which sometimes included a beard guard, while Roman cavalry made use of faceplates, some more ornate and some more utilitarian. Obviously, the Anglo-Saxons had their famous Sutton Hoo helmet. This one is particularly meta because it depicts helmeted warriors on the helmet itself. Additionally, the nose and mustache of the faceplate actually form a dragon when viewed from a different angle. Of course, medieval Europe had a ton of enclosed helmets, but in terms of faceplates specifically meant to represent faces, most examples seem to be custom made for royalty, with this specific helmet being an intensely intricate work of craftsmanship. The Mongols made some use of war masks, which may have influenced the designs of people they conquered, such as the Cavalli helmet from medieval Russia. The Persians of the 16th century utilized them, although the ancient immortals did not, despite their depiction in 300. War masks were known to be used in Tibet, and the samurai, of course, made extensive use of war masks on their helmets. Not even modern warfare excludes their usage, with gas masks becoming the literal face of the horrors of World War I, and there are even some examples of ballistic face masks. Of course, I probably missed a lot of examples, which just goes to show how ubiquitous, yet diverse in design, war masks were and are. They highlight not only the practical importance of protecting your noggin in combat, but the psychological effect having decorated armor had on both allies, enemies, and the wearer themselves. And also, while not historical, the design of Mordred's war mask in Excalibur is excellent and gives me a chance to brag about my Excalibur movie poster, which isn't a reproduction but an original. War masks are undoubtedly cool, and they're an interesting...
He's about that armor life. Huge shout out to the Great Dane 13 for giving us all those different cool looking armors. That's interesting, huh? I'm surprised they ain't show the mask. You guys remember the mask with Jim Carrey?
It must not be every day that you see some contamination. It must not be every day that you see some clown wearing an original ancient Greek Corinthian helmet dating from approximately 1000 BC. Doesn't really, kind of clashes with my New York sweatshirt, but it is an original helmet. I collect helmets amongst other things. It has had some restoration, but how many of us have also needed restoration? All in all, it's a beautiful piece of antiquity, and this is maybe only the second time in many years that I've actually put it on. The sound is almost like when you put a seashell up to your ear, you hear the ocean. Either that or I've gone completely mad. So I hope you've liked this especially unique item from my collection, and I wish you all a very happy holiday.
Wow, that one's pretty cool. But what is he blasting in this picture? Is a where's arm energy beam shield? That's crazy.
Why would anybody?
This is a Nikon P1000 and it's discontinued. And
why would any?
This is a Nikon P1000 and it's discontinued. And well, if you ask me, if I was Nikon, I would discontinue it too. And you're asking why? A lot of people were doing some crazy stuff with this camera, like zooming in to so-called planets and seeing what they really look like, or zooming into ships that supposedly went over the curve of the Earth. Essentially what these cameras can do, to put it in perspective, this is what you get from NASA at the top, and this is what you get when you actually zoom in with one of these cameras. CGI, real. CGI, real. Like, come on, guys. But these are some pictures that NASA took in 2012 and 2013 of the Earth. And if you look, 2012, America is massive. 2013, a lot smaller. It's kind of weird if you ask me. If you didn't know, this guy right here, Wernher von Braun, created NASA along with Walt Disney. But anyways, when he died, his tombstone, he put Psalms 19:1. Very odd to put a Bible verse.
The fallen angels that descended to earth and defiled mankind, were they responsible for having the largest house in America built? Well, possibly. You see, those angels right here, they're the fallen angels. As above, so below, right there in their hands. And when they asked Enoch if they were allowed to go back to heaven, God told them to give them this message. You can't go home again. Well, they had to raise the kids somewhere. The question is, who built America's largest home? The Masons that built Biltmore? Well, they actually built the lodge first, and it's the Mount Hermon Lodge right here in the middle of Asheville. Chapter 3 in the book of Enoch is all about the fallen angels that descended onto Mount Hermon right here. And fallen angels are etched all into the sidewalk, all the way around the building of the Mount Hermon Lodge. As above, so below. As above, so below. Big star on your head. They were like all over the place once I started looking around and looking out for them. Right there. There were several of them. It's that star that really sticks out. Jesus' words were in red in the first chapter of Revelation, and it says that the stars are the angels. And the house that was built, it was one of a kind, decorated with demons. The book of Enoch that was sealed away for thousands and thousands of years in a cave along the Dead Sea, tells all about the fallen angels. It even calls them out by name. I can't even say these good.
Tartaria was everywhere, and history as we know it has been completely fabricated. At first we thought maybe the Dark Ages were just unclear, but it turns out they were invented to push a lot of events further into the past. We realized Tartaria was everywhere, and history as we know it has been completely fabricated. At first we thought maybe the Dark Ages were just unclear, but it turns out they were invented to push a lot of events further into the past. We realized that it wasn't just small parts of history that might be wrong, everything was made up. One fascinating thing is the architecture we find around the world. In almost every city you'll find ancient Gothic-style buildings with incredibly intricate designs. People look at them and say, oh, that's just how they built things back then, but some of these buildings are absolutely stunning. Think about it. If we lived in a feudal society where everyone was working just to survive, how would anyone have had the time, resources, or motivation to build something so elaborate and that worked the way they did? These buildings weren't just practical structures like free energy generators, they were artistic expressions. They were built to be functional and beautiful, to celebrate what was being created. But we don't build like that anymore. The complexity and beauty of these structures are clues that we didn't live in the same pay-to-survive system we're trapped in now. Tartaria was a global civilization incredibly advanced and powered by free energy, likely based on etheric energy. It existed up until about 200 or 250 years ago. Estimates place its early origins around the mid-17th century, and its destruction came shortly after. They've been lying to you all along.
It says my manager lets me lead the morning meeting because I haven't slept for 3 days and I have 500 milligrams of coffee in my system.
It's basically an intergalactic invasion into this space through people. I'm telling you, it's what all the ancients said. It's what they warned of. It's what we're dealing with. They're demons. They're frickin' interdimensional invaders, okay? I'll just say it. Make fun of me all you want, just like the Bible says.
Shoot that boy down, bro. Oh, get his ass right there. Shoot that boy down. Yeah.
Oh man, bro actually hit that thing like a boss. Like a boss.
Shoot that boy down, bro.
Oh, get his ass right there.
He loves me.
What is in there? Did they plant this? The wall is destroyed to reveal the key. Huh. Is this a ophonym? As I looked to the living creatures, I saw a wheel on a wheel besides the creature with 4 faces. This was the appearance and structure of the wheels. They sparkled like topaz and 4 looked alike. Each appeared and made like a wheel intersecting a wheel. As they moved, they would go in any one of the 4 directions the creatures faced. The wheel did not change dimensions and the creatures went. Their rims were high and awesome, and all 4 rims were full of eyes all around. These living creatures. Ophonym.
Many of you contacted me, said, is that really a dog on the Great Pyramid? I said, no way, that's AI. I've been to Egypt many times. Dogs don't climb up higher than a few courses. Dogs are kicked around in Egypt. They fight each other at night. But this is real because the people that handle me in Egypt are the guys that allowed this guy to go up there and take his footage, and they have the footage. I've got this footage. This is real. And so what does it mean? Sirius, the rising of Sirius, the heliacal rising of Sirius over Egypt was a huge sign in ancient Egypt. Well, Sirius is the dog star, a dog on top of the Great Pyramid. People, it's a sign. Get ready. I've got an apology. Many of you contacted me.
How did the dog get up there is my question.
How do you do? The Creator never intended for you to beg for anything. If He had, He would not have blessed you with full control over your own mind. If your life is not what you want it to be, you can change it.
Okay, so let me get this straight. 2 astronauts, right? Suni Williams and Butch Wilmore went out for a space mission, an 8-day space mission, back in June. They get trapped out in space on accident. Wasn't planned. but they just posted a picture today wearing Christmas hats. Lock in, okay? Let me explain this to you. They went out for an 8-day mission back in June. 8 days back in June. Today, since they're still trapped out there, they sent us a picture to be like, hey, we're doing all right. Why do you have Christmas hats on? Where did you get them from? Where did you get the Christmas hats from? Listen, I'm not a conspiracy theory. I'd rather just have the answer. But two things don't add up to me. If the mission was only 8 days back in June, there's no reason for them to have Christmas hats in December. How would they have Christmas hats? The mission was supposed to be 8 days in June. You were supposed to be back before Christmas. There's no reason for you to have Christmas hats. Now also, if you're telling me they're sending them supplies, why would you send them Christmas hats? They're trapped out in space. They want to come home. And you're sending Christmas hats? Something ain't adding up. I don't know exactly what it is, but something not adding up. Something not adding up. I don't know what y'all doing. Something not making no sense. Okay, so let me.
Something's not adding up, brother. Where did they take those hats with them when they first started the mission? Did they know they'll be out there that long? I don't know.
The stars that we see in the night sky, are they the 4 living creatures and the spinning wheels that are mentioned in the book of Ezekiel? They sure are. And the Church of the 4 Living Creatures is right there in Savannah, Georgia, with one of those wheels right behind it. I grew up right down the street from the Church of the 4 Living Creatures. It's actually called St. John the Baptist. But if you scroll back a little bit, I'll show you where Ezekiel's wheel is, right behind this church. If you go right over the steeples into this park right here, it's called Troop Square. And we're going to zoom in and click the little picture guy right there. And then we're going to touch one of them bubbles and go right down to Ezekiel's wheel in Ezekiel chapter 1. Ezekiel chapter 1 covers the 4 living creatures before it talks about the spinning wheels. They had the face of a man, the face of a lion, the face of an ox, and the face of an eagle. And the portal of the 4 living creatures is right there. Right here, underneath that lady, standing on a snake. She's standing on a planet, and it looks like he's eating one. These guys right here underneath that. Matthew is the face of a man. Mark is the face of a lion. Luke is the face of an ox. And John, the face of an eagle. In the same order as the New Testament, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. The 4 living creatures are described right up there in verse 10. But it's verse 16 where we start talking about the wheels. This one. That's behind the church. Behind the church, right there, next to the graveyard. This thing right here. It's the world, according to the stars, held up by turtles. Keeping in line with Scripture, one wheel upon the earth by the 4 living creatures. And that is right there by the church. The appearance of fire, roundabout. A ring of fire, a horseshoe, and a star. When Satan was cast down from heaven, he drew a third part of the stars to earth with him. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. You know me and my family love you, so like and follow the trumpet for more. And in Jesus' name, have a blessed day. The stars that we see in the night sky, are they the 4 living creatures and the spinning wheels that are mentioned in the book of Ezekiel?
What an excellent statue. I wonder how long it'd been there and who actually created that statue. Because it looked like it was made of copper, the same material the Statue of Liberty was made out of.
Prove its potential, they began flying it around the world from Abu Dhabi last year with stops in India and China, then across the vast Pacific. Remember, it has no fuel. If that was onto the United States, hopscotch. To prove its potential, they began flying it around the world from Abu Dhabi last year, with stops in India and China, then across the vast Pacific. Remember, it has no fuel. If that was on to the United States, hopscotched across America, powered only by the sun, and now it has crossed its last ocean, the Atlantic. Prove its potential, they began flying it around.
Showed the world how to circumnavigate.
And I guess what's happening now is that rock is kind of dying out. I guess in 4 or 5 years, the new generation's music will be, it might rely heavily on electronics, tapes. I can kind of envision maybe one person with a lot of machines, tapes, and electronic setups, singing or speaking and using machines.
We used to think that rock was progressive. The Anunnaki had to leave their planet to come to ours because it was infested with the parasite.
Hamiya. Huh. She's going by a different name now. It's true. She is the one who told me about you. But she didn't send me here to kill you. In fact, you'll be pleased to know that I don't intend to lay a hand on you, or any in your circle while I'm here at this school. And furthermore, I haven't harmed any humans for quite some time, nor do I need to. I've been sustaining myself.
I think the Anunnaki had to leave their planet to come to ours because it was infested with the parasite.
Hamiya. Huh. She's going by a different name now. It's true. She is the one who told me about you. But she didn't send me here to kill you. In fact, you'll be pleased to know that I don't intend to lay a hand on you, or any in your circle while I'm here at this school. And furthermore, I haven't harmed any humans for quite some time, nor do I need to. I've been sustaining myself on the same sort of food that humans eat. If parasites could exist without killing your kind, there'd be no problem, would there? Like I trust you. The fact is, we've started to explore ways in which we can coexist alongside humans within your society. Given that you two are a bridge between our two races, we were hoping that you would give the idea some consideration.
Why? What do you mean I can't tell anyone?
This is real.
In this situation, our greatest fear is that we would cause widespread panic due to a lack of credible information. When people stop trusting one another, it inevitably leads to discrimination and fear. And soon after that, misinformation and mass hysteria will follow. That's my son, Shinichi.
Hello there. See how straight.
In any case, we still have no way to distinguish them from us. And given that, there's simply nothing to be gained by going public at this time. We are truly sorry about the loss of your wife.
Their silence in this.
To be blunt about the current state of things, this is a problematic situation of having a few thousand violently dangerous killers roaming around the country. Please, take a look. Yes, that's exactly what the thing looked like. So it's able to morph into just about anything it wants.
It seems the rumors have become...
I think the Anunnaki had to leave their planet to come to ours.
That thing look crazy. And that was a deep dive. For the code word today, it is deep dive. It's your boy Jet Ski Chuck. Shout out to everyone that made it to the live. And I'm going to see you guys very soon with more creepy and scary TikTok reaction videos with your boy Jet Ski Chuck.